for you. Did you ever do those things for me? I don't mind complicated, but the line is crossed. I'm waiting for a sincere apology. But you can't when you're with me. You need to find a way. But you can't when you're with me. You can with everyone else, just not me. I cannot wait until you hear my story. I cannot wait until I burst. If I could have a day without no worries, maybe I'd figure out a way to stay. Didn't I wait for you? Yeah. Didn't I say I'm sorry? Didn't I do the best I could? I could. You have high expectations. Oh, I know that you've explained that. How I should prove myself to you.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of our Enamoured series. As you can see, our couple has finally moved to a new home, and we are about to go ahead and take a look at their new home and what it offers them and see their new place. So without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at where they have moved into and what their new place looks like. I'm going to take you on a little bit of a house tour, and that is how we're going to go ahead and start out this episode. So welcome back to the channel, and let's go ahead and jump right in with a little bit of a house tour, and then we will go ahead and get started off with this lovely episode. So as you can see, when we are first going to go on in here to the house, we are going to go straight into their dining space. They go right into their dining area, and we are going to just go ahead and take a look at their house here. So this is their dining space here, and let me see if I can get a better kind of view here for you, and then we will go on a little tour here. So this is their dining room, and then off of the dining room we do have the living space. So this is their living room. It has a nice little fireplace and a bookshelf and their couches. And then we have off of the living room their kitchen. So we can go ahead and go take a look at their kitchen now. So this is their little kitchen here. Just a cute little quaint kitchen. I may go ahead and put some appliances in there from the new pack so that they'll have those, so that'll be great. And then if you go out this back door, they just have this nice little area where they can barbecue, sit on their nice little patio and have like a little barbecue area. And then if you go back in to the house here, they've got this little hallway area with a little sitting area with a TV. And then off of that, they've got 3 doors that lead to, this one is a little bedroom. And if we go back out to the next door, it leads us off to another bedroom. And then this door here leads us to a bathroom. And then if you go back out and then go up to the stairs, we're going to go ahead and go upstairs and take a look and see what's upstairs. So once we're upstairs, we do have this bedroom here and a bathroom. So if we go up the stairs here, if I can just get my camera to work with me here, sorry. we will go up the stairs. There is a door straight off the stairway here, and if you go through that door, it leads you to a little bedroom. We're going to redo this bedroom and turn it into a nursery, but there is a bedroom there. And then we have a bathroom here off this hall as well. And then we have a master bedroom and a master bath, and then a walk-in closet here. Or a master, well, I guess it's a master bedroom and an ensuite. And then just a little closet with like some decorations. So we are going to go ahead and we're going to, like I said, turn that extra bedroom upstairs into a nursery. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started doing all of that. And then we will get started with the game.
You got a smile that makes the sun rise. You make it shine. But I can see that you don't realize, and that's what made me fall in love. 'Cause you got a style, the way your body makes my heart beat sound. It's amazing all the time. You are the only thing I need in life. Oh, I want you. Can't you see? I want you. I believe, 'cause I want you. Here with me, I'm gonna go crazy. I'm gonna go crazy for love. I look at you and know it's alright. You read my mind, but I can see that you don't realize, and that's what made me fall in love. 'Cause you got a style, the way your body makes my heart beat sound. It's amazing all the time. You are the only thing I need in life. Oh, I want you. Can't you see? I want you. I believe, 'cause I want you. Here with me, I'm gonna go crazy. I'm gonna go crazy for love. I don't need another love. Yeah. We do this every day. We do this love for life. You got a smile that makes the sun rise. You make it shine. But I can see that you don't realize, and that's what made me fall in love. 'Cause you got a style, the way your body makes my heart beat sound. It's amazing all the time. You are the only thing I need in life. Oh, I want you. Can't you see?
Okay, so Amina here is just on her computer, but I am going to go ahead and get her to unpack the boxes that she brought from her old house. And we're going to go ahead and put away some of the things that she packed away and make sure that we have them placed where they need to be placed. I'm going to go ahead and hang up her graduation photo and her diploma. We'll put her candle in the living room and put the cookbook here in the fridge so that we have use of that. And that will be perfect so that we can go ahead and make the home feel nice and homey and tidy, and just have everything here that needs to be here so that we can continue on in this new house. And then we are going to go ahead and we're going to pick up here in this episode. So I hope you do like the house that they're in. I think it's super cute. I did just get this house off of the gallery and just plopped it down here in the world for them, and I think it is really great. I hope you like their nursery that I built for their hopefully future baby. Obviously, as we know, Amina is having struggles getting pregnant. We did find that out in the last episode, and so we are going to need to go ahead and send her off to the doctor to find out what's going on with her and if she has any fertility problems. So first things first, after she goes ahead and she puts away this box in her inventory, now that she's done unpacking, we are going to then go ahead and probably send her off so she can go see the doctor to evaluate her fertility and see what's going on with her and find out what is indeed kind of going on, if she has any issues or if not, or where she kind of stands on the pregnancy front, because she is, as we know, trying to get pregnant, and they are struggling. So we're just going to go ahead now and send her off and let her go and visit the doctor now. As we know, Micah is wanting to be a father. She's wanting to be a mother, and so they are really curious about this. If it comes back that she's fine, then we will also send Micah and have his fertility tested. But first, I want to start with Amina and see how her fertility is looking. And while she is going and getting that taken care of, we're just going to go ahead and have Micah continue writing on his book and getting a little bit of writing in, because as we know, he does need to finish that book, The Tigers Don't Take Naps, because he had started that at the old house and he has not yet completed that book. So we're just going to have him go ahead and continue writing that. It looks like for whatever reason he is not wanting to use this computer. He's going downstairs to use the laptop to do his writing. Maybe he is feeling like he'll write better when he's outside in the fresh air. Whatever the case is, but he is going to go ahead and get that writing done. So he is just writing the book, and we love that. It looks like Colton has come over to visit. As we know, he does have a key to the residence. So he's come over to visit, which is fantastic. We love that. And he is just kind of hanging out, and maybe we will come in here after we've written on the book a little bit, and we'll let them do a little bit of chatting and spending some time together. And it looks like our neighbors have come over to also give us a little bit of a welcome to the neighborhood. So maybe he should stop writing for a little bit and we'll let them come on in. Obviously, I do want them to get to know their neighbors and let them come on in so that we can, just kind of have that little bit of a welcome party, so that we will obviously know who our neighbors are, get to know them, and have a little bit of a conversation with them so that we can find out kind of how our neighbors are and what the deal is with that. So it does look like Amina is back from the doctor, and they have advised us that unfortunately she has low fertility, or I'm sorry, no, she's infertile. So she's not going to be able to carry a baby, or she's not going to be able to get pregnant. And so she's going to have to, unfortunately, tell Micah that she's infertile and she's not going to be able to carry a baby. And they're going to have to discuss alternate ways for them to go ahead and get pregnant, or not really get pregnant, but I guess be able to parent a child. So she's going to come in here and she's just going to announce her infertility to Micah and let him know, like, hey, I got some really, really upsetting news from the doctor today. And when I went and saw the doctor, he has advised me that I'm infertile. And, what are the odds that I would be an OBGYN and I would end up being infertile and unable to produce my own children? And so she's really, really discouraged by this news. She's super upset. Obviously, she wants to be a mother. And, she went into this field of being an OBGYN because she loves taking care of moms and babies and bringing children into the world. But also, she wants to be able to bring her own child into the world. And now she's found out that she's infertile and she can't have children. And so she is super upset. Micah is like, you can't have children. And she's like, no. But, there are other ways that we can have children. Obviously, like, they can go ahead and try to pull some eggs and see if maybe one of them might be viable, and we can try to do surrogacy, or they've told me that I could potentially try for in vitro fertilization to see if maybe that would take. And he's like, okay. So she's just talking to Colton, and Colton's like, I'm really sorry to hear about your news. And she's like, yeah, I'm really sorry to hear about the news as well. But she's going to go ahead and she's going to ask Micah if he is open to surrogacy and see how he feels about that. And obviously, she wants to know, like, are you willing to go an alternate route for us to be able to have a child? Because I really want us to have another baby, or to be able to have a baby. And, we're going to let fate decide and see what he said. And he says, all right, let's look into it. So they are going to go ahead and look into surrogacy and have someone go ahead and carry a baby for them. So they are going to hope that she does have at least some viable eggs that she can be able to pull and that will be able to be implanted into someone else and fertilized with his sperm, and someone would be able to carry their baby to term for them. So hopefully this will, pan out for them. So they are going to do the surrogacy route and hope that this works out for them. She's super excited that he is willing to go ahead and go this extra measure. Obviously, surrogacy is not cheap. It's like 5,000 simoleons for them to be able to do surrogacy. And she knows that, that is a little bit expensive, but she is really, really hoping that this works out. She's asking him, about Colton, because a minute ago it said that he had met his soulmate and Colton was his soulmate. And so she's saying to him, like, is there something going on with you and my brother? And he's like, no, we're just friends. You're worrying over nothing. Like, honestly, there's nothing going on between us. And she's like, okay, because I was just concerned that there might be something kind of going on with you two. And I was kind of suspicious of you guys' relationship. And he's like, well, there is no relationship other than the fact that he's my brother-in-law and he's your little brother. And that's it. And she's like, okay. So she's going to go ahead now and she is going to pick from a panel of moms here that can carry a baby to term for her. And so she's just looking through the brochure of the available women that can carry a baby for her, and she's going to choose someone. And we are going to go ahead and line up who we want to carry this baby for us. So she has chosen someone to carry this baby for her. And she has gone ahead and paid the 5,000 simoleons that it cost. And it says that she has gone ahead and started that process of having a surrogate mother. And she's super, super excited about that because now she's going to be able to be a mom. The whole process has been started, and now we just have to wait for, obviously, the baby to, grow and cook in that lady's oven, and so we love that. Her dad has come over to visit, which is super shocking because, as we know, he's not a huge fan of Micah, and so she's really shocked that her dad's come over here, being that he's not a fan of Micah, and, now they're married. So she's kind of like, hi, Dad, what are you doing here? And he's like, I just wanted to come and see you guys and see the new place. And she's like, oh, well, how are you doing? And he's like, oh, I'm doing good. And she's like, well, that's great. I'm really glad to hear that. So, what brings you by? And he's like, well, I kind of figured that I would maybe go ahead and, just come see you and, try to give you guys a chance. I clearly didn't give Micah a chance in the beginning. And, I'm just really happy that, I'm, seeing you, and I really, really missed you. And I just figure I should give you guys a chance. And so she's really happy that he's at least trying to give Micah a chance and trying to give their relationship a chance. And so she's given him a key to the house so he can come and visit whenever. So she's going to go and tell him, Dad, I am going to go ahead and try to have a baby through a surrogate mom. And he's going to be like, really? And she's like, yeah, I'm infertile and so I can't have kids. So we're going to try to have a baby through a surrogate. And he's like, oh. She's like, how do you feel about being a grandpa? And he's like, well, to be completely honest, I don't think you having a baby through a surrogate is a good idea. And, obviously, I don't really want to have a grandchild. I don't think you guys should have a kid. And she's like, excuse me? And he's like, I think it's a bad idea for you guys to have kids. And I don't want to be a grandparent to your grandchild. Like, I don't want that. And she's like, going to argue with him. And she's just going to say to him, like, how dare you say that to me? Like, how could you tell me that you don't want me to have a child and that you don't want to be a grandparent to my child? Like, I thought you just finished telling me that you were going to give us a chance. And he's like, I did say that. I did say I was going to give you guys a chance, but, I'm trying here. But having a child is a completely different ball of wax. And I don't think that I can accept you guys having children. I'm willing to give him a chance on being your husband, and you making the decision to go ahead and be with this person that I definitely don't agree with. But now you're talking about bringing children into the world, and that's completely different, Amina, and I just can't do that. I can't agree with that. I can't get on board with that. And she's like, you're going to have to get on board with that, Dad, because we're going to have children. They're already, the process is already in play here, and this is happening. We are going to have a child. And he's like, well, I don't think that I can support that. And she's like, well, then you're going to have to leave. If you can't support that, then I don't want you to be a part of this child's life. And so he runs out. And she's like really, really upset with the fact that her dad is being this way. Like, she never thought that her dad would be unsupportive of anything that she ever did. Like, her dad has always been super supportive of everything she's ever done. And the fact that her dad is being like this is really shocking to her. She's never had to deal with anything like this. Like, of course, she's dealt with her dad being difficult as far as like with boyfriends and thinking that no one's really good enough for her. But she kind of thought whenever she found the one and she was ready to settle down, she thought her dad would kind of come around and would accept that. But that is definitely not the case. And for him to go so far as to tell her that he wouldn't accept her children as his grandchildren, she doesn't really know how to take that news. And she's really, really heartbroken by that. And it's really, really upset her. So we're just going to go ahead and let her go ahead and get a little bit of food here, and then we're going to have them both come and turn up into bed for the night. It is getting a little bit late, and so they do need to go ahead and get a little bit of rest here. But she is just kind of pondering all of the things that have kind of played out. Like, she's really had an emotional day. She has found out she can't carry children, and even though she's got good news as far as being able to find a surrogate and she knows that she has a child on the way, yes, she's happy about that, but it's not the same as carrying your own child. And, she's got a lot of emotions that she's having to deal with currently. And, she's trying to find the joy in this situation, but she's really struggling with her feelings of feeling inadequate. And she is not exactly sure how she should really be feeling because, yes, she's ecstatic that she's going to be able to be a mother, but she is really feeling a little bit saddened by the fact that she's missing out on the milestones of, being able to carry this child and feel its heartbeat, hear its heartbeat, feel it kicking her, and all of the things that, a pregnant mother is able to experience. She's not going to be able to experience all of those things, and that's really, really got her upset. Yes, she's going to obviously be this child's mother, and yes, she's going to have all of the milestones that, she'll have with this baby once it's here. But she is concerned about the fact that, is she going to be able to bond with this baby, being that she didn't actually carry this baby? And so she's a little worried about all of these things. And it's really got her thinking like, I don't know how I'm supposed to feel because on one hand, I'm super thrilled that I'm going to be a mom and I'm going to have this experience. But on the other hand, I am really just like, I'm not really sure if I am going to have the same experience I would have if I actually did this myself. And so she's really, unsure about kind of exactly how she feels. So I am going to have her just go ahead now. She is thinking to herself, I wonder if I could take some fertility medicine, if I could possibly spike up my fertility somehow, and I could maybe, try for a pregnancy and get pregnant and carry a baby on my own. And so, she is going to try that and see if she can possibly get pregnant on her own. And she's thinking, well, what happens if I get pregnant and the surrogate mom is carrying my baby too, and I end up, having more than I can handle? And she's like, you know what, that's a risk I'm willing to take. If I end up pregnant and the surrogate mom is pregnant, then we'll just have two babies. But this is a risk that I feel like I need to take, is to at least give it a shot and see if the fertility medicine is going to work. So she's taken some fertility medicine, and she's going to go up here and talk to Micah and say, look, I've taken some fertility medicine. I don't know. It's probably a long shot, but do you think maybe we could try for a baby and just see if I could get pregnant on my own? Because I really would like to try to carry a baby myself. And he's like, what about the surrogate? And she's like, we still have the surrogate that's carrying the baby for us. And he's like, so you want to have more than one baby? And she's like, if that happens, then it happens. But I just really want to make sure that I've done everything that I can do. And he's like, okay, sure. So they're trying for a baby themselves again and giving it one last final shot just to see if they've done everything that they can do to try to get themselves pregnant naturally. And if for whatever reason it doesn't work, then she knows that obviously this is the best chance that they have is to have this baby through the surrogate mom. And she will just be happy with the surrogate mother scenario that they have. And she will have to be accepting of that. But she just wants to make sure that she's done everything that she can do herself. And so she's going to go ahead and go on in here and take herself a little bit of a shower. And then she's going to take a pregnancy test. And then everyone's going to head off to bed. So Micah's gone ahead and turned in for the night, as you can see. And she's just going ahead and getting herself ready here to take this pregnancy test. And she's a ball of nerves as she waits these results to come in. And she's like, oh my gosh, please work, please work. And she's waiting for those lines to show up. And she's wondering if she's pregnant. And of course it tells her she's not. And she's like, oh, really? Okay, well, there you have it. I guess I can't get pregnant. No matter what I try, no matter what I do, just I can't carry a baby. So she's resigned to the fact that she just cannot carry a child, and she's going to go ahead and go off to bed. And she's accepted the fact that having a child means that she is going to have to do the surrogacy stuff, and that is the best option for her. And I'll see you guys when they wake. All right, so it is the next morning. As you can see, Amina has risen. She is ready to get up this morning and get in the kitchen and make herself some breakfast. She's feeling quite hungry and she needs to go to the washroom pretty badly. She is, as you can see, feeling a little bit tense this morning from her high maintenance trait, but she's also definitely feeling better about the whole surrogacy thing. She is definitely accepted of like this whole scenario and realizes that this is her best shot, and she's feeling much happier about this, and she's realized that this is definitely the best thing for her, and she's feeling like it's a blessing. So she's going to go ahead and call over the surrogate mom and try to get to know her today. And she wants to spend a little bit of time with her and obviously see her and get to know her, talk to her about the pregnancy, see how she's doing, and if there's anything that she needs. And just make sure everything's going well with the pregnancy, because as we know, she is wanting to make sure that obviously this lady has everything that she needs to take care of her well-being, because she is carrying Amina's child. So she is just going to go ahead and finish up this breakfast here, and then we're going to invite everyone to eat, and we're going to have a little bit of a conversation with our surrogate mom here. So we're just going to ask her how she's doing, and obviously she's inviting her in. She had already come in, but we're inviting her in. So we're just going to ask her, like, how are you doing, and how's the baby, and how's, the progress going. And she may even ask her if she knows what she's having. I don't know how far along she is in her pregnancy, but she will ask about the pregnancy and kind of find out that information from her. After she gets a bite to eat here, we're just going to go in there and try to find out some information about the pregnancy and see how she's doing. And then obviously we will be able to get to know her a little bit better. And Amina is thinking to herself, obviously we want to make sure that everyone is doing really, really well. It says here that Amina needs to go and have some mental health services, so we are just going to send her off and let her go ahead and get her mental health evaluated. And as you can see, Micah has come and he has greeted our guest as well, and he's just asked her, how she's doing and given her a little bit of an introduction here. he is going to make sure she's doing all right, because, you know, he knows that this pregnancy is very, very important to Amina, and it is just as important to him because they desperately want a child, and he also is going to head off and have a little bit of a therapy consultation, it looks like. And it says here, does Amina want to continue with therapy? And yes, we want to continue with therapy. So we're just going to continue her therapy there, and then Amina's going to go ahead and come on home, and then we'll have her chat with our surrogate mom here, and we will go ahead and make sure that she is doing well. We're going to just go ahead and ask about the baby's gender and ask about the pregnancy and make sure that she's doing well. And then we will obviously have to send Amina off to work in a little while. So we do want to just visit with the surrogate mom here before obviously we have to send Amina off to work. So she is just going to come in here and just chat with her for a little bit and make sure everything's doing well. She's just saying like, how is things going? And she's like, everything's good. I'm in my first trimester. I'm a surrogate mom. And your baby is going to be born a boy. Okay, that's great news. All right, so we have found out some good information here from her, and everything seems to be going well. And so they are just having a little bit of a conversation together and getting to know one another, which is fantastic. And she's like, I hope everything's going well. If there's anything that you need, just please let me know. And Amina has now headed off to work. So once Micah gets back from his therapy, we will obviously let him check in on her as well. And it has advised us that Micah has borderline personality disorder, and does he want to take therapy and medication? So yes, we will go ahead and put him on therapy and medication so that he can make sure that he is well here, because we definitely want him taking care of himself. So I will go ahead and get him set up on all of that, and we will make sure he's good to go here. He is just going to go ahead and come in here and clean up a little bit. He can see that obviously the surrogate mom is doing pretty good. She's just watching a little bit of television and relaxing. So he's like, okay, things seem to be fine. I'm just going to grab myself a bite to eat. So things are going pretty well. She is doing really good here. And so he's like, well, I don't think she really needs anything. He's going to go ahead and ask her about her pregnancy. And then he is going to get back to writing his book because he needs to finish that book desperately. He obviously didn't finish writing it when the welcome party came to the house. And so he does need to go ahead and get that finished. So we will have to get him writing that book. And then we will be able to hopefully get that published. And then, you know, we'll have another book out there that we can, you know, hopefully get some money on for him. Because as we know, he had written that first book and he hasn't been able to publish it yet. And so he's like, you know, I have written a book. I haven't been able to publish it yet. I would like to get another book under my belt and hopefully be able to publish it because, you know, it's really important to me that I get my name out there. So I definitely want to make sure that I am focusing on my writing. I know that my hands are going to be full once we finally have a kid, but I have to focus on my writing. Like, this is really important to me. You know, Amina's job is seriously important to her, and I am super supportive of her job. But my writing is really important to me as well, and I really, really want to become a best-selling author. And so in order for me to do that, I have to make sure that I make time to write. So he definitely needs to get out there and finish that book so that he can hopefully finish it up and get it to a place where it can get published and his name can get out there and he can start making some royalties and things of that nature. So he is going to get out here and we're just going to get him writing. And it looks like the surrogate mom is, you know, just going to continue watching some television. And maybe, you know, she and he will have a little bit of a conversation as well. So she's going to come out here and she's just going to give him a little bit of company while he writes. And they're just going to talk a little bit while he has some writing. And he's like, you know, this whole time you were sitting in there watching television, we didn't really have a whole lot of a conversation. But now here I am trying to get some work done. And and you want to talk. And she's like, I'm really sorry about that. And he's like, no, it's fine. It's just I'm trying to focus. And she's like, yeah, I really have to go, though. And he's like, yeah, no worries. That's fine. I totally understand. You've been here like all day. So if you need to go, that's perfectly fine. So he's going to continue writing this book. And we are just going to go ahead and hang up the certificate of marriage here in the house so that it will be on the wall here. While he does that, we are just letting Amina continue out her day here, which is fantastic. She is probably getting close to being done with her shift, and then she'll be coming home. And then once he's done writing his book, we'll probably send him out for a little bit of a jog because, as we know, he is an active sim, and so he will want to probably go out and have himself a little bit of a run. And once Amina comes home from work, she'll probably want to go for a jog herself because she will probably want to have a little bit of fun because, sometimes her day can be really stressful. And if she is feeling a little bit tense, we may need to send her out for a run as well. But we'll find that out once she gets home, see how her mood is. And if she is wanting to have some fun, then we'll send her out for a run as well. But he is desperately wanting to do something active. And so once he's finished this book, we will go ahead and let him go out for a little bit of a jog, just so he can get a little bit of exercise in for the day. It does look like he is having a little bit of writer's block, and he's wanting to dislike writing. I'm going to say no, he can't dislike writing because he's wanting to be a best-selling author, and so I definitely don't want him to dislike writing. Just because he's having a little bit of writer's block is really no reason for him to dislike writing. He's just struggling right now, and that's probably because he's wanting to be active currently. So I'm hoping that this run is going to help him out, help him clear his mind, let him get out into the world here, and then he will, find a little bit of inspiration while he's out here on his run in this new beautiful neighborhood that they live in, which is fantastic. He's out here on the pier, and he's just running around, trying to get to know their, new surroundings, and he's like feeling really confident, which is fantastic. So we're just going to let him finish his run here, and then he can go home and check the mail. And Amina is just finishing up her shift. So we'll just let him finish out his run. He is feeling super great after, being able to get out here in the fresh air. It's making him feel really, really good. Before, he was feeling a little bit uncomfortable because he was needing to get some exercise in. But now that he's outside and he's out running, it's made him feel really good. So I love that for him. So now that he is back home, we're just going to get him to check the mail, and then we'll send him in so he can go ahead and get a bit of a shower because he is feeling a little bit grungy after going out on that run. So he does need to go ahead and get washed up. So we'll go ahead and let him do that. Look at, he's like, oh my gosh, I smell really bad. Yeah, you kind of do. So we'll let him go, get himself a shower while he waits for Amina to go ahead and come on home from work. And then he can go ahead and maybe do a little bit of a shave because it looks like he's got some back hair growing there we need to take care of. So we'll totally let him handle up on that. All right, so he's just having a little bit of fun here in the bathtub, and Amina has just arrived home. She is desperate for some fun, so I am going to go ahead and send her out for a run. That way she can get a little bit of fun up. As we know, she does get fun from going out on runs because she loves fitness. And so she's going to go out on a bit of a run here. It's going to get her fun up. She's instantly feeling focused from going out on this run. And as we know, she would enjoy going out and getting to know her new surroundings as well. She is trying to get to know her new neighborhood, which we think is great because, as we know, she hasn't really been out in the neighborhood as of yet. She hasn't had a chance to kind of get to know where they live or anything like that. It was kind of a short run for her, actually, it looks like, but she's wanting to go in and take a bit of a shower herself, so we'll let her go on in and take a shower. And then she's going to go and have just a little bit of a conversation with Micah and tell him about her day and see how his day was. And she's going to ask him about his book and see if he was able to get it completed. Because obviously she cares about that. She really wants to know if he's making any progress on his writing. It's not all about her and her day. She really does care about him and how his progress is going with his career. She really does care about that. She's very supportive of him and his writing. And so she would want to know, like, how's your book coming along? And, did you finally get it completed? And, are you really getting any closer to getting it published? Like, how's that coming along? So she is just going to go have a little bit of a chat with him about that. And she is going to then have to get herself something to eat because she is feeling a little bit hungry. And Micah is obviously feeling a little bit tired. He's had a really long day of writing, and so he is going to need to get some rest. But they are just trying to catch up from the day because obviously they have not seen a whole lot of each other today, and they are definitely missing one another's company and one another's conversation. And so they are just wanting to catch up with one another on, how each other's day has gone. And, I'm just looking to see if there's a clinic. It looks like he's maybe not feeling so great. He might be coming down with a cold, but we don't have any clinics in the area. So I'll have to put a clinic into the world so that he can get to a clinic. If he's continuing to not feel well, we'll have to take him to a clinic soon. So I will have to put a clinic in for them to be able to use so he can go and find out what's wrong with him if he continues to feel poorly. But they're just chatting here about each other's day, and she's like, let me go ahead and give you a little bit of a massage. You look really tense. And he's like, I am a little bit tense, but really I'm just tired, honey. I'm just going to go on to bed. And she's like, okay, I'm just going to go grab myself a little bit of bite to eat here, and then I'll be coming on to bed myself. And he's like, okay, that sounds good. So she is going to use the washroom and go grab herself a bite to eat, and then she will be heading herself on up to bed herself and getting herself a little bit of shut-eye. It is starting to get a little bit later on in time, and she knows that it's starting to get really close to what she believes is her baby being ready to come into the world. And so she's starting to get really, really excited about that because she's thinking, it's got to be close to time for my baby to be born. She was definitely showing when she was here last, so I would definitely think that it's getting soon. So she's really starting to get excited. She knows that it's got to be getting close. And she's like, I'm going to call her in the morning when I get up, and I'm going to see how she's doing and see if maybe she wants to come over and visit. So she's going to go ahead, she's going to clean up here, and then we're going to get her into bed. And she's like, as soon as I get up in the morning, I'm going to call her over, and I am going to have her come on round, and that way she can, see us, and we can see her, and we can see how the progress is going on the pregnancy, because I am really thinking that it's getting close to the time for the baby to be born. So she's super excited about that. She knows that it shouldn't be much longer until she has a baby in her arms, and she's thrilled about that. She's like, I'm going to be a mom. Like, it's so close. I can almost taste it. So let's go ahead and get her up here and let her get some rest, and then we will see our surrogate mother in the morning, and we will obviously be able to find out the progress of the pregnancy and if we're going to be having us a baby soon. So I will see you guys in the morning. Okay, it is really, really early the next morning, but Micah has arisen and he is desperate for a wee. And Amina is about to get up as well because she is really, really hungry. She's going to go ahead and go on downstairs and get herself something to eat. And we are just going to go ahead and let them take care of some of their needs. It does say here that it is time for our surrogate to come over because the baby is ready. So she is going to grab herself something to eat, and then she's going to call over the surrogate mom and have her come round to the house so that we can go ahead and have her have the baby, because the baby is ready to be born, which is fantastic news. She knew that it was almost time, and so she is like, I knew it. I just knew it in my bones that the baby was about ready to be here. So she's going to come right over. We love that. So we're going to go ahead and grab ourselves something to eat here. Everyone's going to eat something, and then the surrogate will come right over. It looks like she has arrived, and we're going to let her come on in here, and then we will ask her about the status of the pregnancy and see if it is time for us to go ahead and have this baby. So she's just going to go straight on in here and ask about the pregnancy progress and see what she has to say about the baby. So she's like, hello, how are you? And she's like, oh, I'm fine. And she's like, how is the progress on the pregnancy coming along? And she's like, oh, well, actually, I think I'm in labor and it's a boy. And she's like, oh my goodness. So we are going to name this baby Raiden. And his last name will be McKnight. Oh my gosh. And we had a girl. Okay, so we will name this baby Adriana. And her last name will be McKnight as well. Okay, so we have had twins. Oh my goodness. I was not expecting twins. I was only expecting one because she just told me we were having a boy. She did not tell me we were having twins. So I'm shocked. Amina is like, oh my God, we had 2 babies? And she's like, yeah, you did. And she's like, oh my goodness, wow. All right, so let's go ahead and just go see our babies now. So here is little Raiden here in the mom and dad's bedroom. He is super precious. So we are just going to go ahead and get her to come up here and feed him. And then we will have dad to go into the baby room and feed Adriana. And so we will go ahead and have him feed her and mom can feed Raiden. And then both of the babies will go ahead and get fed. And yeah, this is perfect. We'll go ahead and remove the surrogate mom from the family because she doesn't need to be part of the family any longer because, yeah, she's not part of our family. And they are just going to go ahead and take care of their little ones. She's just thanking her for carrying the babies. She's like, thank you so much. I really appreciate everything you've done for us. It means so much to me. And she's like, yeah, you're welcome. And she's like, I don't even know how, I'm so grateful. But I have to go take care of the babies now. And she's like, yeah, absolutely. I'm going to go ahead and go. And she's like, okay, thanks. So she's gone off and left. We are just going to go in here and take care of little Raiden here and give him a little bit of a feed, which is super fantastic. So she's going to go ahead and nurse him. And then we will make sure that Adriana got taken care of. And then everybody should be good to go. It looks like Adriana is crying. She is not a happy girl. Okay, so it looks like dad did not come and take care of her. For whatever reason, he's not taking care of her. So let's see if we can get mom to come in here and take care of her. So, what is the problem? Dad's like, I can't get to her. Okay, all right, that's fine. Let's go ahead and change out the crib. All right, so we have changed out the baby's crib. We should be able to go ahead and feed her now. So let's go ahead and get mom to come over here and give Adriana a little bit of a feed. And that way we can take care of this little one who is really, really unhappy. And we will make sure everyone is taken care of and is doing really well. Things are fantastic with this little family. We are loving it. As you can see, Amina is feeling super flirty. She is feeling really happy. It would seem that Micah is feeling a little bit uncomfortable, but I think that's just because he's feeling really hungry right now. We need to get him something to eat. So I will make sure that he gets himself something to eat as well, because he is not a happy guy, just like these little ones were not happy when they were starving. So we'll make sure that Micah gets himself something to eat here. But Amina is just smitten with these 2 little ones, and we absolutely love that. She, though, is unfortunately on her cycle, and so we do need to go ahead and send her off so that she can get some products for that, so that she can take care of herself here. So let's go ahead and take her to do that. And let him go ahead and get himself something to eat so that he can take care of himself. So they are just going to go ahead and take care of their little needs here, which is fantastic. And then obviously he's just cleaning up. He's being such a good dad. We love that. He's like, let me help clean up here. Okay. Yes, let's. All right. So everyone is just going to go ahead, like I said, and take care of their needs here. She's going to run off to the wonderful store and get herself some tampons. He's cleaning up, and then he's going to grab himself a bite to eat. But this little family is finally kind of, together, and we are, we have ourselves twins. I wasn't expecting twins, but we have ourselves twins. And Amina and Micah are feeling super happy about the fact that they have now started a new life. They have 2 children, and they feel like they are well on their way here. They have, 2 fantastic careers. They have themselves a new home. Now they have 2 beautiful children, and they're like, our life is right on track, and it is beautiful, and we are going to have a beautiful life together. And they're feeling really, really blessed. But guys, I am going to go ahead and leave this episode here. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you are notified when new episodes go live on the channel. And I will see you guys in our next episode of the Enamoured series, where we are going to see more of this family and how they get on. And we will be seeing our 2 twins age up into infanthood, and how they're going to carry on with this little family. I'm sure we'll be seeing more of Micah here. If he doesn't get over this cold, we'll be having to take him to the doctor. But yeah, we'll be seeing a little bit more of this little family and how they get on and how they do as a family now, that they are a family dynamic because they now have children, and how Amina is as a mother, and if she's able to have that little bond with them that she was worried about, or if she's going to struggle with being a mom because she wasn't able to carry them, or if that's even an issue. But guys, I am going to go ahead and leave it here, and I will see you guys in the next one. But until next time, I'm going to go ahead and fly for now. Bye, Ravens.